Hey guys, Red Pen Mining here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, okay, I just unboxed a brand new Avalon Mini 3 from Canaan, also an Avalon Q. These are probably two of the most popular heaters that are out there right now for crypto miners that want to heat their home and also mine a little bit of Bitcoin or gamble and solo mine Bitcoin. So what I want to do in this video is just talk about my experience with these thus far. I do have already a few of these Mini 3s up in my house, heating my house right now. Actually, I need one more, but that's why I got an Avalon Q here that's going to heat one of my rooms upstairs. And so yeah, I've been running a couple of these throughout my house, but it's getting cold right now and it is winter time right now. My ambient temperature right now is 68 Fahrenheit. So upstairs in a couple of my areas, it's actually cold. So that's why I got more of these Avalon Mini 3s and also an Avalon Q. Thank you to CryptoMinerBros.com. If you guys are interested in any of these, check them out, links down below. But I also want to do a giveaway. So I didn't unbox this Avalon Nano3S. This is also another one that I just got, but I want to give this away to somebody. Okay, so in this video, just simply comment down below your guys' thoughts about these types of miners. Are you guys using these as heaters? I think a lot of you guys are, not just for mining crypto, but also the utility of these types of miners is to provide heat. So let me know down below, are you guys using these as heaters or mainly as Bitcoin miners? Because maybe their efficiency, you know, the Avalon Q is actually an efficient miner, especially if you're using it on eco mode, but the Mini 3 is a little bit higher in efficiency, but granted, the use case for this is actually meant for a heater. It looks like a baseboard heater. So comment down below, guys, for this Canaan Avalon Nano3S. You guys have probably seen a lot of my reviews about these already. I actually have two Avalon Nano3Ss already, right here and there, and I actually have a bunch of Nano 3s, which some of them have died. You guys can probably see a lot of my little like solo Bitcoin miners, like my BitAxes, my Nerd QX++, LV, Lucky Miner LV08, and of course the Nano 3Ss and Nano 3s. I got a lot of these that I've experienced over the past couple years, and these can be great heaters, but really depends on how big your room is, how your insulation is, where you live, you know, how your humidity is in wherever you live. These can provide a little bit of heat, but for me personally, in my experience where I live in the west coast of Canada, so these miners actually don't really provide that much heat for me. Granted, I do have a small bathroom. It's like a little powder room, and actually one of these Nano 3s, when I was running on high power mode, in that bathroom was actually able to raise the ambient temperature in that little like, I don't know, it's like 10-20 square feet or something, very small. So a Nano 3 was able to heat that bathroom just fine. But generally, in a typical, I don't know, 300 square foot room, a Nano 3S wasn't really able to cool that room, especially where I live. Even if it's like 18 degrees Celsius, I don't know, I think that's like what, 50, 60 Fahrenheit. These smaller miners won't be able to make a dent in providing heat in a typical bedroom. But you guys let me know if these types of little miners were able to provide heat for you. Okay, so yeah, those smaller Bitcoin miners, they are obviously great for you know, trying to solo mine Bitcoin, gambling on getting a Bitcoin block. The chances of us getting a Bitcoin block with those small miners is very low, right? I think the chance, I know a lot of people have been going to ckpool.org, and I think recently they just found their 300th block. So when you think about it, how many of these like solo miners have been sold on the market? Like what, hundreds of thousands, millions of these devices out there? The chances of us getting a Bitcoin block is very rare, but hey, you know, Bitcoin's 125,000 as of recording, so I hope one of us can get a Bitcoin block, especially myself. I have about 300 terahash running right now. I think once I get my Avalon Q, this will put me up to about 400 terahash of solo Bitcoin mining. Mr. Patrick Murphy, if you're watching this, my friend, this Mini 3 is going to you, all right? I haven't forgotten about you. Okay, so now let me give you guys my experience now with the Avalon Q and also the Mini 3, all right? So let me talk about the Mini 3 first. So I actually have two of these right now mining in a bedroom, two bedrooms actually, or one office, one bedroom, over the past, like, I don't know, 5-6 months now. And I have to say the Mini 3 is a great heater. It's perfect for a 300, 400 square foot bedroom. There's 3 different power modes: eco, standard, and high power mode on these Mini 3s. And there is app control, phone control, and also on the Avalon Q and the Avalon Nano3S. You can actually control it through the Avalon family app, which is very easy. And it's very easy to set up these miners. You use your phone, you connect through the app by adding the device into the app, and it's very easy that way. You can put in the mining pool of choice, whether you want a solo mine or pool mine. Again, you can control the power modes and utilize lower power consumption, and also schedule when you want to turn it on as well, which is really helpful, especially if you don't want it, you know, providing heat to your room full on 24/7 in your room, because you know, during the day the sun comes out, your room gets warm. So that's actually one thing I've actually had to during the summertime. For me, it obviously gets hot because the sun comes out. So I had it timed where this thing turns off at about, what, 8 a.m. and then turns back on at around 7 p.m. at night. Just to correspond with, you know, when the sun's out, it's already providing heat. I don't really have that great insulation in my house, so the time scheduling for the Mini 3 to turn on was actually a really great feature for me. So I really love the look of the Mini 3. Plus it has Wi-Fi, but also you can plug in an USB to Ethernet adapter, which I've done, and it does work. So if you want lower latency for those that, you know, want to get that Bitcoin block, to have that higher chance to get a Bitcoin block, there is the USB port at the bottom where you can plug in a USB to Ethernet adapter and, you know, wire in instead of using Wi-Fi. But of course you can also do that on the Avalon Nano3S, and of course on the Avalon Q there is a USB port for the Wi-Fi adapter, which I didn't take out the Wi-Fi receiver. It's just in the box here. Also on the Mini 3 there's also a Wi-Fi receiver USB. You just plug in on the bottom there, and also for the Avalon Q and also for the Nano3S, it's in the box, which again we're giving away. Thank you to cryptominerbros.com. Alright, so finally now let me talk about the Avalon Q here. Alright, so this is another, I guess, prominent heater, and I run these on eco mode because on standard mode or the higher mode, it's gonna take over 1800 watts. And I found in a bedroom, like a 300 square foot bedroom, the Avalon Q heats up the room pretty fast. 1800 watts is a lot. And running that full time 24/7, my bedroom gets way too hot with this thing. So I actually run one of these at standard mode, around 80 terahash, I don't know, 1500 watts or so in the living room. I find that this one is capable of heating up my living room, which is really nice. Now, I did try a Mini 3 in my living room, I think on the high power mode, which I think was like 800 watts, 900 watts or so. And it was able to heat the living room, but it took a while. It didn't really get that hot, maybe like 20, 22 degrees Celsius. But when it comes to the Avalon Q, because it uses much more power, it was obviously able to heat my living room much faster. But when it comes to heating it in a bedroom, then you'd want to put it on eco mode, which is going to be, I think, under 900 watts. So that's where I found the benefit of the Avalon Q. I mean, even the Mini 3 as well. But when it comes to efficiency between both of these, the Avalon Q is actually more efficient miner versus the Mini 3. But the Avalon Q does cost more, obviously, than the Mini 3. So other things to consider: the sound on both of these is very low. They're not loud at all. But also the footprint as well. Okay, so I found that the Avalon Q's footprint is much easier to place around your house, your room, your living room, whatever. But when it comes to the Mini 3, it's quite long, right? You guys can see here, it is this baseboard style. It's essentially supposed to replace a baseboard in a bedroom, which again, it does exactly what it's supposed to: provide heat for a bedroom. So this is like perfect for bedrooms, but I'm gonna say the Avalon Q is perfect for all types of bedrooms, living rooms, and again, you can change the power modes, control and schedule the time on this whenever you want it on or off. One thing I want to add, and you guys can also, you know, chime in if you've experienced this, but I think the Avalon Q, the orientation in which it should sit, in my opinion, is the other way. So I think it should flip around, because I was just looking at where most of the heat is coming out of this thing, and it's coming obviously from the hash boards. But what's also happening is that the heat is rising to the top of the Avalon Q for the power supply. So I think that's also causing some heat soaking issues, and the power supply is pulling more power from this, because it's getting a lot hotter, so it's causing more resistance in a way. So I think this should be flipped around, because I've done that with a few other miners like this that are, you know, orientated like this. The power supply is at the top. I found that like with the gold shells, like the Echo series, if you flip it around so the power supply is at the bottom, the heat from the hash boards are at the top, so it doesn't go back down, right? Heat rises. So it should be like this, even though the numbers and stuff will be the other way. Actually, the numbers don't turn around, so that sucks. But I think long term, it's better for the power supply to be at the bottom, because the heat rises from the hash boards. Yeah, you guys let me know. You guys let me know. I think it's better this way. Definitely better this way. I have two Mini 3s. One is on right now full time to heating a room. I do have another Mini 3 here. It's using the time of day right now. Schedule timer, so it's off right now. And then I do have two Avalon Qs that are running, and yeah, these are just perfect. These are also have timer. I don't have it on timer, but I have it on standard mode right now, not on high power mode. So I'm getting 80 terahash on each of them. So it's very easy to utilize these miners and to heat your house. And again, it really depends on your environment, and you're just gonna have to test the power modes to see which one's the best for you to, you know, keep that comfortable heated temperature that you like, especially for your family. You know, my wife actually loves these because not only are they also quiet, but again, they provide heat, and she says it's perfect as a heater. And you know, I have baseboard heaters all around my house, right? And I'd rather utilize these machines because they mine Bitcoin at the same time, right? Well, actually, I'm solo mining Bitcoin, so I'm not actually getting any Bitcoin yet. I hope to hit a block, but that's the gamble. That's the risk I'm willing to take. So yeah, like these are honestly the best way to heat your house and also mine Bitcoin at the same time, I guess, if you're gonna, you know, pool mine and stuff. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'm gonna have to say these products are the best out there, you know, comparing it to any other, you know, models out there, maybe Flu Miner or, I don't know, Volk Miner, D1 Mini. There's a lot of other smaller home miners out there. But I think overall, the benefit of Canaan products is the app feature that you can control with your phone. And basically, yeah, you can see the hash rate and stuff, change the pools and whatnot through your phone. I find that to be one of the strongest benefits when it comes to these types of miners. But you guys let me know down below, how has your guys' experience been with a lot of these miners? Okay, so again, yeah, that's going to coincide with the Canaan Avalon Nano3S that we want to give away. Okay, so guys, just comment down below again your thoughts about all these things, and if they have been helpful for you or not, or give me your pros and cons, whichever. Let me know your opinion about these miners. Okay, so again, I'll choose the winner after 24 hours after this video is uploaded. Thank you all so much. If you guys are looking for any types of miners, even the Avalon Q or the Mini 3 or even a Nano3S, check out cryptominerbros.com down below. I'll have a link down below if you're interested. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.